She tells me I am a reminder of a mistake she would not like to repeat. I remind her that the past cannot be changed or brushed over. Ideas live through fires of assassinations and nuclear bombs and revolting and revolts and revolutions. I am a sandstorm away from being the war that she needed not fight, the troops that needed not to be sent. I am made of oil, British colonization, African emancipation, and American rap music, movies, and all that other propaganda. I am a gunshot at schools and at faraway deserts, a bomb away from being her liberation. I am the Cold War, the desire for warmth that she needed, a long-standing lineage of royalty, the battles won, the deconstruction of her faith, the renewal in the belief that love and mistakes can coexist. I am the reason you struggle to let go, a reminder of the mistakes you shouldn't repeat, the foundations that lie at your feet when you fall in love again. Thank you. Now a poem about death. I hope that's easier, like get a segue into something. Right. Backstory, I wrote this poem last year, I think. Like in the past 5 years, I'd experienced a couple of deaths in my life that I hadn't processed, so I decided to process it the best way I know how, which is to write a poem. Yeah, so this is the poem. This poem is about death and my acting. Sometimes you act in a manner you think people will most accept you, and so you pretend and pretend, such that the line between truth and lie are almost blurred, almost non-existent. Did you die? Or did you morph into something else? Did you become a butterfly? Did you learn to fly? One of my friends died in a car crash. The car was choked full of college students, drunk, driving, partying, living fast. The car crashed, my friend died. My other friend who was driving the car died there and then too. He lost his sense for life. We buried our friend and pretended to live. A couple years later, after New Year's, one of my friends went missing after a party, as he was known to, so none of us panicked or worried until 5 days later we couldn't find him. We put out a call to see if we could find him, and 5 days later we found his body under a bridge, dead, gone, but not forgotten. We buried our friend and pretended to live. Sorry. Let me read this. And so we kept on pretending, putting on a show, being the people that our families expected us to be. I put on an act for my father and mother. I put on an act for my girlfriend. I did all the things I thought would make them like me. Wouldn't you do the same? I just wanted to be liked. I just wanted to be free. A couple years later, after we had all been pretending, my friend who was driving the car that my other friend died in decided that he was going to stop pretending, and so he hanged himself. We buried that friend and pretended to live. After we buried him, I told myself that I would not carry the burden of my friend's death, that part of me died too, and yet I continued to pretend, wishing that one day I would be okay. You see, when you experience death, you realize some things, like being liked, like acting, like carrying the burden of death, that these things and many other things don't matter as much, and so those parts of you die too. Recently, my childhood friend robbed a bank. Successfully, might I add, but knowing someone who robbed a bank is actually kind of crazy. He wore a mask, had a pump, shotgun, and a pistol. He was definitely acting, pretending to be okay. He hopped onto his bike, rode to the bank branch, told everyone to hit the floor and the teller to put the money in the bag. He had a mask on. He was acting, pretending to be okay. He stole some money, went outside, and as fate would have it, his bike wouldn't start. He fired a couple shots in the air. The mob rushed after him. They robbed him of the money that he stole. How poetic. They stoned him to death. He died. We buried him, and we pretended to live. When this friend died, I told myself that death is an insatiable beast that will take and take, but I will not let it find its place in my heart. And so I prayed that one day I would be okay and not pretend or have to pretend, and that I will be okay. Thank you.